This tutorial is to go through the Moodboard creator. Now I have gone through my foundational tools, the foundational architecture tools. Those will be the tools at the top, starting from left to right. I've gone through the market narrative, the trends analysis, so I understand what visual trends to avoid. I've identified some features that stand out around my product, and I've done the customer jobs to be done. I've also gone into the communication platform and built that out for YumLoves. A natural next step would be to go into the key features expansion. But knowing this, I do recommend the Moodboard creator before doing this, because at the bottom we want to describe our visual language. This will create some of the initial visuals that we can use to represent the product. So rather than typing that out by myself, if I wasn't comfortable writing around my visual language, I'm going to go into my Moodboard creator. Now in the Moodboard creator, there are a few things that I can pull out, and really I'm going to be thinking through some of the trends that came up during the major market analysis. So starting with the opposing force, I'm going to pull that in from my memory. And one of the standout elements in the visuals to avoid, it did make a recommendation in the analysis, but I'm going to say that I want to avoid using vibrant colors. Because that was a very, very popular trend. I'll probably try and do something very minimal, even a white package. So for the visual style of this board, we're going to go through a number of options, and these are all options that can create different combinations that will start to summarize your visual language. Everything from photorealistic to industrial or retro graphics. For this one, since I want to be very, very natural around the product, we're going to go with photorealistic. I'm going to use a minimal composition preference. And in the elements in the composition, I can use photography and graphics, or graphic elements only, or photography only. I think for this one, I'm going to use a mix of photography and graphics. Actually, let's go photography only. I'm going to create a very, very simple mood board to represent this. And that's because I already have the product. I could probably leverage the fact that the product is real and put that on the packaging. The dimensional preference would be photographic scenes. Again, this one you could use 2D or 3D. You'll get very different results between these three different options. The color palette style, we're going to use something neutral. Could even use earthy for this one if we wanted to. Let's go neutral. All right. Color palette description. Let's just say primary use of a white background to highlight the colors of the snacks. Elements of the mood board, you only need to describe a few elements if you want. You can be as robust in this description as you like as well. So I'm going to say small, round, puffed snack balls. You can also say visuals of fava beans, because that's what the product is primarily made of. And I can also include some visuals of the other flavor attributes, like barbecue sauce, churro, puff flavors. Okay. Once I hit submit here, it's going to do a couple of things. The goal of a mood board is to understand what you like and what you don't like. So as things get started, the system's going to create 3 different mood boards to just kind of give me an idea of the different visual approaches. And once those 3 mood boards are created, it's going to ask me what things I liked about it, what things I don't want to see in the next couple mood boards. Everything about the mood board creator is really just to create some refinement of how I want the brand to look and be represented. So this would be one of the first ones. And once I identify the things that I really like, it'll also generate some visual objects that I could actually put into a mood board. I tend to grab stuff and put it into Milanote. I also tend to grab things and put it into some Google Slides to represent mood boards if I want to showcase these. So this gives me some ideas of some really, really minimalistic visuals, ways to represent the snack shapes, the plants, the typography. You can see that this is using a serif font, and it's not using really vibrant colors. This would be in direct contrast to many of the mood boards that were created during the major market trends. So this is all to help me stand apart. And because Haley's prominently represented in the opposing force definition, it's using a founder. Although Haley's much younger, we might identify that in the future here. Okay, so things that I want to see next, since I'm not seeing a lot of like flavorsome elements, I'm going to try and turn that up. I did say barbecue sauce, so you can kind of see it there. Let's say I want to let's show more ingredients that make the flavors of barbecue like peppers and churro sticks. That's what I'd like to see next. And things that I don't want to see, let's probably not show. Don't show pictures of leaves. Don't show pictures of leaves in the mood board. Now, as an outcome of this exercise, it's going to give me 2 more representations of different mood boards, and it's also going to give me some visual artifacts. Now, this creative takes a few minutes to render itself, and the goal is to be able to create a foundation that I can give to a creative person, a designer, somebody who's ultimately going to be responsible for the brand identity. Another thing that's going to happen when this gets created is it's going to summarize my visual language. That visual language summary is something that actually goes into the memory file of the system, and it will be referenced a few other times. Now remember, I did say that one of the other builder tools is the key features. We'll go into that, and because we go through this exercise and identify these different mood boards and have a summary, there we go, this is getting a little bit better, a little bit more refined, and I can start to see some churro sticks in here. This one's actually pretty good. So you can zoom in on any of these as well when you want to see this stuff. I actually kind of like this. This one's like really minimal. Okay, great. Now you can see that it's working on visual element number 1. And for each visual element that it wants to create, it's going to create 4 different versions of it. This is using the Midjourney API. And the reason for the versions is really just to create some variety. You'll be able to zoom in on any one of these things. And rather than it being in a mood board, meaning all of the elements will be together in that mood board, it's going to be a single element. So you can use this as an artifact to represent things that you like. So here would be visuals of somebody representing Haley Jeffries in a white t-shirt, very basic, very neutral color palettes, holding a bowl of the ingredients or the puffs. It'll always give you a title of what it is too, so you have some reference of what you're going to be looking at. All right, the next mood board artifact it's going to create is scattered snack balls. So the way that I use my visual languages or my mood boards, it's really to spark ideas or concepts to show how things can be represented. That's what all of these do represent. It gives me ideas of colors, gives me ideas of ways to lay out the product. So let's take a look at the scattered snack balls. These are going to obviously be different colors and different flavors. Some are going to be blue. So if I wanted to refine this further, I could even go deeper into the mood board generator and specifically say that I want only orange snack balls or only light colored brown snack balls for the churro puffs. And that's really what this mood board generator is for. It's not only meant to be used one time and forever. That's why it falls into the builder tools category. I can spend a few hours putting together a mood board that is very clean, that represents exactly what I want that visual language to create, and take that forward when I'm building my key features or when I'm actually building out a more robust visual language. You'll see as this summarizes here, I'm going through visual element number 4. Visual element number 3 is going to be close-up visuals of the fava beans. So this will give me like 4 different ways to represent those. This one's not bad. All of these, again, you can zoom in on. You can look through all 4, depending on how you need to see it. But this is going to be based off of the opposing force. And once it's completed, here's number 4, diverse snack ingredients. Once it's completed, it's going to give me this summary, this visual language described. And this is the thing down here at the bottom where I don't want to have to constantly recreate this. Now I can go in and edit this as well, but I'm going to take this, now that I have that visual language described, and I'm going to go all the way back up into the memory, just like I did all the others. Go into my profile, make sure I click on Yum Loves, and here's my visual language description. And in here, I can create any nuances that I want to change in here. This is where I would add in the fact that I only want the snacks to be the color of cheddar, the color of barbecue, the color of churro puffs. Always make sure that you save this. Okay. And I can go back to the apps. Now that I have that, within the builder tools, I can go into my key features, or I can go into create all of the visual language assets. This is where I'll create 60 different options of visual language assets that I can choose from to take forward into my presentations or into my website.